What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how I built this computer right here for $200. This thing has a 980 Ti and an AIO, 16 gigabytes of DDR3 at 2400 megahertz, a 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, and an i7 4790K. And I'm gonna show you just how I got this PC right here for $200. It all started with one lovely Facebook Marketplace ad, a 4790K, an AIO, 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, and the whole kit and caboodle. A nice case for $50. And of course, I messaged the guy, we started talking, and I picked it up for $40 that day. And that's how this whole PC started. And it's a very good deal compared to all the other ones on Marketplace and eBay. Just the motherboard and just like the whole motherboard combo with the CPU and everything, on eBay they run for about $150. So considering I got it for 40 bucks with the case, it's a really good deal. It's a nice set of Corsair Vengeance DDR3 with 2400 megahertz. It is honestly an insane deal, and that's why Facebook Marketplace is the GOAT. I also got a Corsair 650M CX650M power supply. It's a semi-modular power supply. I got it from a friend of mine for $20, and I told him how much I'd pay for it before I knew exactly what it was. I just knew I needed a power supply, and I knew it was good enough. He said it was modular. I was like, cool. And didn't have any of the cables, so when you buy a power supply that's modular without any cables, you need to make sure you buy the right cables for this power supply. Well, I had to do some research, had to find out exactly which ones would work, and you can literally just go on eBay, look up CX650M modular power supply cables. I needed the PCIe cable for my graphics card, so I went and I ordered that on this listing right here, and it all works and everything. I got plenty of power for my GPU, all that fun stuff. So, and then that's why I also went with this M.2 SSD. I actually bought it from Walmart. It's a 1 terabyte Western Digital PCIe Gen 4. It's really good. Plenty of what I need. I actually ended up buying one off of eBay, and it was a SATA. It looked like it was NVMe. It wasn't. So I was like, screw that, I'll just buy new. And that's what a lot of people recommend, is buying new, like for data drives and everything, because you could have a virus or a bunch of shit you do not want on your drive. I was just trying to save a buck, as all of you are. So if you're willing to risk it, eBay does have some decent deals, but you also have to make sure you know what exactly you're buying. And I'm still pretty new, and I didn't really know, and I thought I knew, but I ended up, they didn't say it was the SATA drive, but it was a SATA drive. So it didn't end up working for my computer. Yours might, but SATA is just really slow. So, and then I also got the 980 Ti. So I had to drive an hour and a half to go get this graphics card, and he would not respond to me. And so I messaged him on my girlfriend's phone. I was like, okay, maybe he'll respond to a woman. Maybe, you know, computer guys are kind of weird. And he actually ended up doing it and responding to my girlfriend and everything. And I was actually typing and everything. And so I was blowing him up on both phones because we drove an hour and a half. And we've been going to the malls and stuff around that area. But we were kind of getting bored, and I was waiting for him to respond so he can go to a different area. Well, he finally responded and everything, and we show up to his house. He's a really nice guy. I set up my computer and everything because I had it all working and everything beforehand, and I just wanted to add the GPU, make sure it all worked. And so I added that GPU, everything worked perfectly fine. He's like, hey, are you going to be doing any streaming or anything like that? And I was like, I'm looking into it. Hopefully I can. And so he gave me a Blue Yeti microphone without a stand, but completely free. He gave me this Razer keyboard right here. I have no idea how to pronounce any of that, but pretty nice keyboard. and a Scuff PS4 Pro controller, like the Scuff Pro controller with the paddle shifters on the back, all completely for free. So I was going to try to talk him down to $40 for that GPU, but considering I got all of that for free, which is why you always have to ask someone if they have any other parts. Like if they have any other computer parts, or like if you're buying anything from anybody, ask if they have anything else for sale or if they want to get rid of. You might find a cool chair or a cool desk that'll work for your setup. Because if you clicked on this video, you are obviously broke, which I understand. We're all broke. 2024 been a rough year for everybody. So if you can get something that even if you're not going to use, like let's say I'm not going to use this keyboard, you can just sell it. You can just sell it, get the profit out of it if they're just wanting to get rid of it. They didn't want to deal with, you know, the hassle of selling online and everything. He just gave it to me, which is fine. He had his, you know, he had the full right to do that. And you also just have to be nice. Be nice to people. And sometimes good stuff happens. Sometimes it doesn't, but that's just out of your control. But yeah, I got some really good deals. We picked up that 980 Ti for $50. They're going to try to talk them down, but $50 is a really good price. I mean, on eBay, they're going for about $80. And you have to be patient if you're wanting to build a really cheap PC. That's the key. You can also, when you're installing Windows and stuff, there's like a pass key. I don't know what the websites are, honestly, at all. But I got mine for free because I had an old Windows laptop, and you can use the key off of that. It automatically went over and everything. But it was, honestly, this has been a really good piece. Guys, in total, I spent on the first things first. I bought pretty much most of the computer for $40. I got the i7 4790K, the Asus Z97-A motherboard with the Corsair Vengeance Pro DDR3 16 gigabytes of 2400 megahertz RAM, with the AIO Corsair H110 cooler. That's pretty sure it's a 240 rad. It's a pretty nice cooler. It's got 3 fans in the case. It's got a whole Corsair case. This guy really liked Corsair apparently. And then I got all that for $40. And then I got that SSD from Western Digital, that 1 terabyte SSD, that M.2, for about $65 with tax and everything from Walmart. And then I got that power supply, the CX650M modular power supply for $20, plus that $12 cable. So in total, that one would be $32. And then I also got that GPU, the EVGA 980ti SC, for $50. And then I also repasted the CPU. I have not done the GPU yet. I probably should, but I haven't really touched the GPU yet. I kind of just plugged it in. And that thermal paste costed $8 for a grand total of $195. So this is the ultimate budget $200 PC. So we are going to be playing XDefiant. It is at 1080p, I believe medium settings, and pretty much a variation of medium and high settings. Very, very simple settings, nothing really crazy or anything. But we are going to be playing XDefiant. I'm not very good at all, as you will see here in this future. I'm only going to show you just a little bit of gameplay. It's very consistently right around 75 FPS. Bro, you can shoot through that.
Condition critical.
So now that we're wrapped up with XDefiant, we got a average FPS about 74 frames per second and 1% lows of 59. So it's pretty good. We're gonna be moving on to Apex Legends though. Apex Legends I'm not very good at all. As you're about to find out, I kind of just walk around a little bit and get shot at and eventually die. So it's not very really interesting, this gameplay, but yeah, 75 FPS, a low of 62, as you can see on the top left corner. Pretty consistent. It's 1080p, medium to high settings, so there's that.
taking fire. Fire! Down. Loser puts on a skeleton
Well, I
costume.
died pretty quickly. I think you can reboot, and everything. 75 FPS. And now that you have seen me epically die in Apex Legends, we're going to be moving on to Trackmania. Trackmania is just a very simple racing game, and you can get quite a bit of FPS out of this. It is honestly pretty fun. I'm just going to show you a race that I played. I got about 75 FPS and a 1% low of about 40, but to be honest, I didn't really could tell at all. I play on controller, I don't play on keyboard on this game, but to be honest, it's a really fun game. And now that we're about wrapped up with that, we're going to be moving on to Fortnite. Fortnite is at 1080p, medium to high settings. Everything is set pretty good, and Fortnite is a little bit longer just because there's so much more gameplay. Right. I kind of emphasized on the racing aspect because I figured that'd be the most demanding thing, but it got about 70 FPS with a low of about 20, but I didn't really experience it. Yeah. I don't really know what that's from. I never really saw it go away from that 72, and then on the right it shows Fortnite's FPS, which stayed at 75 pretty much the whole time. So I think I have an FPS limiter or something in it, so about to go back into the Nitro Dome to see how low we can get this FPS to go. How to boost? Get the boost button. Go. Looks like this is quite a bit going on. I'm staying right at 73 forever. Victor! Oh yeah! That's man right at 73, so I don't know why, but
Here comes the rooster!
Fortnite FPS rating is 75. That's probably why it's saying 73 because it's, I guess, I don't know why it's limited. I'll have to look into why. But I'm also not that good at building, especially. Well, let's go.
You rule!